Hey guys, so how's it going? Well, today I've decided that we're going to go ahead and speak very shortly about Ethereum. Yes, guys, the second biggest cryptocurrency by market cap. Now, first of all, none of what I'm about to say, what we're about to discuss, is to be taken as financial advice. Okay, now concerning this Ethereum, I personally believe that this very prophetic coin is not spoken about often enough in the community. And I believe that God, in his great wisdom, has shown different cryptocurrencies to his children so that the liquidity in cryptocurrency may be more evenly distributed amongst the brethren. You know, whenever the wealth transfer has occurred, the liquidity will be more evenly distributed. You see, that's why he's shown some people this coin and others that coin, and he doesn't show others some while showing others some. That is the reason why he's done this. And I've observed that this Ethereum, which is just as important as several other coins that are widely known out there, is hardly spoken about. So I've decided that I'm going to highlight it here and let you guys know that this Ethereum, the second biggest cryptocurrency by market cap, is most definitely a prophetic coin, and it's going to drop down to very low numbers of which we're going to discuss very shortly here in this video. Now, while many of us would often focus on one particular coin, the majority of us, usually we are focused on one particular coin. You see, and that shouldn't be the case because there are several other avenues in cryptocurrencies through which Yah is going to use to bless his children. He's going to use to bless us. So now, before I get into the prophetic low buy limit numbers for Ethereum, let's quickly check it out here on the charts. So Ethereum at the time of this recording is at a price of 3,334, thereabouts. So let's pull it up here on the monthly and try to see if we can figure out where it's headed next. Let me go ahead and minimize this just a little bit. Okay, so there you go. So it's currently right here, right around here, around 3,300. So if Bitcoin were to continue its rally and to head higher, then I can see ETH coming all the way back up here at the top of these candles around the 3,700. Let's be safe and put it around 4 grand then, right around there at the top of these candles. Perfect. So I would see it come up around $4,000. That is if, of course, if Bitcoin manages to rally up to the 100,000K area, around a 100 to 103K area, Ethereum would follow suit and would rally up that high as well. And this is entirely based off of Bitcoin's movements. But if Bitcoin doesn't manage to rally that high before it begins to roll over, well, I can also see Ethereum rolling over along with Bitcoin. And I'm going to show you here on the charts where it's going next, which is going to be very, very low, guys. Okay, so next, if it fails with Bitcoin, it would roll over and come all the way down here. Right at the bottom of this candle right here, it would be right around, it could come down a little bit lower, right there, right there. Yes, there it is. So basically around $1,400, guys. That's where I'm expecting Ethereum to come down to. You know, and that it's entirely dependent on Bitcoin's price action, on Bitcoin's price movements. If Bitcoin begins to roll over, then that's where Ethereum is headed next. Now, this is very important. If Ethereum fails to bounce from that area, from around here at the $1,400 area, and proceeds to have a rally which would take out its all-time high, if it fails to do that, because this again is also dependent on Bitcoin crashing down towards 49K or 20K and having a bounce, because that's in the cards as well. There's a potential for Bitcoin to have a a big bounce from either 49K or 20K and then continue on to make new all-time highs. But however, if Ethereum were to fail to have a bounce from these levels, just like Bitcoin were to fail at 49 or 20,000, then we know that the flash crash to zero for Ethereum will be in play. Okay, guys, so what do I mean exactly by zero? Well, it has been prophesied by many people that Ethereum will crash to actual zero, which means literal zero, which I imagine that will occur also when Bitcoin crashes to zero, because as I've shared with you guys before, I've seen experiences before where I've seen several cryptocurrencies crashing with Bitcoin to zero and sub-zero as well. So that's what I mean when I said that zero in that case. But also, several others have also seen Ethereum flash crashing down to 0.001. So you could describe that as basically zero, you see? Because that would be an excellent buy price considering where this coin is going in the future. You see, there have been prophecies of this coin going up to $10,000, prophecies of this coin going up to 30 odd grand, and potentially even up to $100,000. So also, there's also a lot of prophecies of this coin going to $1 or around that area. You see, around $1. So those are some places where you can set up your low limit buy orders. You see, from $1 going down. You see, so you want to set them up some around $1 and then some around the 1 cent area, somewhere around there. I'm not going to name any specific numbers. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I believe that even as Yah gives different people price points, and this is in regards to any cryptocurrency as well, I don't believe that he gives them like the exact top or bottom price of which you can buy that particular coin. I don't believe he does that. What he does is give them a ballpark price at which a person can, set their low limit buy orders or their sell limit orders. You see, he will not give you the exact top of where a price movement will go, you see, or the exact bottom. What he does is give you like an idea of how high it will go. So always keep that in mind. And also, speaking of which, let's go ahead and check out this flash crash that Ethereum had back in 2017, I think, because that was an indication. It was an example of what's going to occur in the future, what's going to happen again with this coin. Now, as you guys will be able to see for yourselves, this flash crash, it occurred on this exchange, which was called GDAX, now currently called Coinbase. Now, at the time, Ethereum had crashed from around $319 all the way down to 10 cents. But on this particular exchange, on GDAX, which is now called Coinbase, it, as you will see for yourselves, it had crashed only down to 13 cents. And that explains why people need to set their low limit buy orders and sell orders a little bit more conservatively. You see, you don't want to set it at the exact prices that are prophesied. You don't want to set them too low or too high. And I've explained this before in previous videos. And that's all as a result of the different levels of liquidity that is on the different exchanges. So here on GDAX, Ethereum only reached as low as 13 cents, but it actually crashed lower on other exchanges. So the liquidity is different on different exchanges. And so for that reason, you want to be a little bit more conservative whenever it comes to setting up your low limit buy orders or your sell orders. In other words, you don't want to be too greedy. You want to use wisdom. You want to set it around the ballpark of the prophesied numbers that you receive. Okay, so the prophesied numbers again for Ethereum for this coin is 0.001. So with that information, you want to go around near that number as for your lower buy limit numbers for Ethereum. The higher prophetic numbers would be around $1. Many people have seen it at $1. Some have seen it at $2. So we have an idea that basically just gives us an idea of where we can set some low limit buy orders for Ethereum. Now, guys, I want to speak about something else that I've shared a part of it with you guys just recently, and that has to do with the buy button. Whenever the time of the flash crash comes, it has now come to my understanding that I don't know if every exchange is going to do it, but I'm pretty sure that they're going to turn off the buy button. You know, just as it has been clearly illustrated to us in that movie that I've recently shared with you guys that is called Dumb Money.
Is it frozen? They cut off the buy option. What?
In that movie, it was clearly illustrated that in times of increased volatility, they will most definitely turn off the buy button, as you guys have seen. Yes, guys, I'm definitely led to believe that they will most certainly. I don't know if every exchange will turn it off, but as a result of this new understanding that I've come to, I will most definitely not be taking any chances at all. You see, because from day one, I didn't really trust these exchanges. So as a result, I'm going to be setting low limit buy orders for everything. Even though, guys, I've had experiences already from Yah where in those dreams, you know, I didn't have to worry or be in haste to purchase the cryptocurrencies whenever the buffet had happened. I could literally relax. I had time to buy. Regardless of those dreams, I still am going to be setting my low limit buy orders, you see, because we don't know exactly how it's going to play out. So in that case, you want to use wisdom and just be as prepared as possible. And the low limit buy orders is just the best way to go, in my opinion. So you want to go ahead and set them up beforehand, because, you know, several things can happen, including this buy button being turned off. Just imagine if the wealth transfer was taking place and then several exchanges, or even all of them, were to go ahead and turn off the buy button. That's if, of course, you haven't set any low limit buy orders. Oh my goodness, that would be very bad, because then you would miss out. You would definitely miss out, guys. Or even if they don't do that, the apps, you know, just go ahead and just start malfunctioning where you can't use them, as I've seen before. So in a case like that, you want to be prepared beforehand so that if anything happens, like, you know, we lose power, you can't gain access to the internet, or whatever case it may be, where you can't do or make any trades, you won't have to worry, because you would have beforehand went in and set up your limit buy orders or sell orders. So guys, that's all I'm going to say concerning Ethereum. I've already shared with you the low limit buy numbers. You guys, please do with this information what you will. This coin is a very, very important coin. It's a very prophetic coin. And like I've said before, like, we usually pay too much attention to other coins, even one particular coin. You see, sometimes we pay too much attention to XRP or XLM and several other coins, but there's so many other coins in there, guys, that God is going to use to greatly, and I mean greatly, bless his people. You see, and so we want to be in position and set our low limit buy orders for these coins as well. So there you have it. You use this information to your advantage. Do with it what you will. And this is all I'm going to share in this particular video. You guys, please take care of yourselves. Peace, shalom. Until next time.